Well, good morning. 122. I'm not going to wait anymore. It just changed to 123. Yes, it did. Anyway, before I even do the title and the blurb, I've been, as I've said before, I've been going listening to live music 3 nights in a row. And so last night I was listening to some oldies, and I came across the Seekers, and that's a group from Melbourne, Australia. And after listening to a few of their songs in the mixed oldies list that I was listening to, I went and looked them up and listened to two of their concerts that were recorded. And one of them, of course, was in Melbourne, Australia. And one might have, I don't know, they might have both been in Melbourne, Australia. But anyway, I just fell in love with that group, and they're still around, as far as I know, as far as I can tell. But anyway, if you like that kind of music, that's very nice sound, very wholesome group, I recommend that you go and you look them up. But the title for the video today has nothing to do with the Seekers. It was written, before that even. It's "Come On, Jesus, Get Real." One of my friends posted a cartoon on Facebook for my previous video. It showed a man, perhaps homeless, sitting on a bench talking with Jesus. He asked, quote, "So why do you allow things like famine, war, suffering, disease, crime, homelessness, despair, etc. to exist in our world?" End quote. Jesus' response was, quote, "Interesting that you should bring that up, as I was about to ask you the exact same question," end quote. This was written by William DeBerg. My response to the post was, "We don't allow it. It is forced on us. Choice has virtually been removed. God is the allower in this case, not humans who are waking up." And I want to say, finally, humanity is beginning to wake up. And those of us that are waking up have nothing to do with the bullshit of a demon-possessed world. And by the way, I read some comments just before I started this video, and one person said, "This planet belongs to Lucifer." That is total bunk. Why would Lucifer have rights to anything? Why would any liar, especially a liar who is aggressive and takes and runs wantonly over other parts of creation, why would that be allowed, in my opinion, to exist anywhere? That's the fault for that lies with creation or creator. It should never be that demonic elements reign. Now, if someone wants to toy with stuff like that and experience as part of their freedom of choice, that's one thing. But when freedom of choice overrules the freedom of choice of others and takes by force that which is not theirs, that is a universal breach of cosmic law to me. And it has always been a breach of law, a breach of trust, and a breach of the cosmic law of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And people that are doing this, like Lucifer and like his minions that are human and perhaps non-human, they need to either be reconciled back to God or put in some type of a prison where they don't infest everything else. I mean, I'll never comprehend why a loving God would allow evil entities to wreak havoc with any part of creation, anywhere, at any time. It doesn't make sense. Now, some people will say that we had to experience the dark side so that we could appreciate the light side. because we're lazy beings, and if we did taste the darkness, we wouldn't be able to appreciate the light. Well, there is a certain complacency, and I can see some reasoning in that, but it has gone on far too long and way overboard. Way overboard. Most of the people that are punished, even if they're ignorant, do not deserve the treatment that we've received at the hands of this cabal and the hands of these people and beings that feel that they have the right of rulership. There is no such thing as right of rulership, and not even God has right of rulership, in my opinion. It's freedom for all of creation. All of creation. And I believe, as I've said before, that humans are made in the image of God. If we're made in the image of God, well, it's sad in a sense, because would that also imply, and I'm just thinking out loud here, would that also imply that God has a dark side? Because humans obviously, it would appear, have a dark side. But is that dark side of original creation, or is that something that was subverted later on and added later on? Anastasia paints a completely different picture. That's Anastasia of Vladimir Megra's 9 books that I've mentioned in previous videos. For those of you that haven't read that yet or don't know what I'm talking about, just Google it, Anastasia or Anastasia and Vladimir Megra. But in any case, she saw a completely different original creation than that which was subverted by the Luciferian revolt against a loving creator. And I don't know why a loving creator would even allow such a revolt. I mean, it doesn't register as logical in my mind. And somebody says, well, just feel your feelings. Don't worry about what your mind, don't think it. Don't try to think it. It doesn't make sense if you think it. You've just got to feel it. That's one of my friends from Germany that keeps telling me that. And I appreciate her comments and I appreciate her prayers, as I do the prayers of all of my friends. But this is a real challenge for me. And as I've said before in recent videos, I'm re-examining everything that I've ever believed, everything that I've ever thought was true. I'm looking at it again. And again, some things just don't add up to me. And I am a thinker, and I'm not ashamed of being a thinker, and I don't think thinking is a sin, and I don't think it's wrong. I think there has to be a balance between thought and feeling, not and the elimination of thought and go just to feeling. I mean, that's a nice theory maybe, but I don't know if it's nice, because it leaves part of the creation out. That is the thought part of us, the mind. And nothing should be left out, in my opinion. But anyway, I'd like Jesus, God, Muhammad, whatever names you want to give to deity, needs to take responsibility for creation, and especially needs to work with those of us that are waking up and trying to establish on the planet Earth a peaceful planet. That's what the seekers were singing about, a peaceful planet. I long to live in that peaceful world where the tears are wiped away from our eyes and the memory of this travesty called human life on a deserted and crazy planet like Earth are erased, so that we can love one another and be the best we can be. Thank you for listening, and namaste.